guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to another unboxing. Today once again it's music, a little break from the movies. I've done quite a few pickups and movies, but there's been a new release that's come out today. This is Friday. I received this yesterday in the post and it's come out today, so we're going to unbox it today. And it's the new box set from The Who, and it's their classic album Who Are You, which I believe came out in 1978. So let's have a little look at what it says on the sticker on the front before we go any further. Okay, it's Who Are You Super Deluxe Edition, 7 CDs and 1 Blu-ray audio, unreleased and rare studio and live materials, plus Steven Wilson's Atmos mix. CD 1. It just goes through what's on the albums. It's also got a 100-page book with rare photos and memorabilia, new essays and track by track. And it says you can go to sleep at home tonight if you can get up and walk away. That's what it says on the sticker. So yeah, this is out to date and it's really heavy. So I think it's the really heavy, not Neil, but yeah, but I think it's the book that's going to weigh a ton. So let's not waste any time. Let's take it and have a good deep down look at the new release here from The Who. So here we are, guys. Here is the new box set from The Who, and it's a classic album of theirs called Who Are You. So I'm just making sure I'm not sitting on my glasses, guys. Oh, you know what I'm like, and I am. Yeah, so here it is. Just got released this week. It's a mighty heavy box. It is a 12-inch size. This is CDs. It's not record, although it's a record size. We turn it over, and we've got here what's on the discs here, and we can see the sticker there that we need to see saying made in Germany. So let's have a quick look. So on disc 1 we have the original album. Disc 2 is the Glyn Johns mix. Now Glyn Johns did the mix of the album, but it didn't see the light of day. It was kind of binned, but now here we have it here, the Glyn Johns mix. Disc 3 is sessions and demos. Disc 4 is the Shepperton 1977. Disc 5 is Shepperton's 78, 79. I think they are pretty much like rehearsals for the tours and stuff like that. Disc 6 and Disc 7 are live in the USA 1979. And Disc 8 is the Blu-ray audio of Dolby Atmos, DTS HD Master Audio and PCM audio of the Steven Wilson mix. So what we need to do now is take it out and have a look at it. So we're just going to do that now. So we're just going to take off the cellophane. I was going to try and preserve it, but I've already sadly ripped the cellophane, which is a shame, because I do like to try and keep the cellophane on these sort of things, because they don't do, you know, LPs, they do PVC covers and things like that, but they don't tend to do them for the CDs, which is a real shame. So on the back here, I'm going to try and take off that made in Germany sticker if I can, and pop that on there, because like I told you before, I always try and preserve all stickers that come on these releases. There we go, that's on there. I don't know if I want to put the sticker on the back, but we'll have a look on the inside first before I decide where we're going to pop that sticker. So let's take the contents out. So it's a hard back box, very high quality. We have here an envelope here with the discs. We'll have a look at that in a minute. And we have a booklet. Who are you? And it's got like a mirror on there, so you're looking at yourself, which is pretty cool. Now we found a place for the sticker, so let's pop the sticker on there first, and then we'll get into the grit of this box set. Yeah, this has come out. Sadly I missed out on the Who's Next box set, which now goes for silly money. So unfortunately I missed out on that one, and I missed out on the live in Leeds, but I did get the nice gift of the one there from my friend. So I have popped the sticker on the inside of the book. So let's see if we can, if this opens like that and I can get it all in. Yes, I can. Okay, great. So here we are. I can sit down now because I've got to stand up sometimes to do some of this. So anyway, here we are. Here's the here we are. Who are we? Who are we? So here's the actual cover, which is really cool. I believe this was the very last album they did with Keith Moon. There, we got Keith there, we got Roger, we got John, and we got Pete there. So that's the original sort of lineup, and this was the last album. Sadly, a few months after this album's release is when we lost Keith Moon, when he passed away. So this was his last album. So as you can see, what I love about this, there's a plus and a negative. The plus is I love that they're all in the individual sleeves, so they're not just in there, they've got their own sleeves. But the only thing I would say would have made it even better was they could have ripped the track listings in these gaps here. You've got all these spaces with nothing written in it. And I think that's a little bit of a lost opportunity, because you could have wrote the track listings there, which would have been really cool. Anyway, let's have a look at the albums. So this is the original album, Who Are You? And it's got the tracks New Song, Had Enough, 905, Sister Disco, Music Must Change, Trick of the Light, Guitar and Pen, Love Is Coming Down, and Who Are You, which was the hit single from this album on the Polydor label. So that's really cool. So that's disc one, and it's got Who Are You written behind it. I'm hoping that it might have that written behind all of them, so you can put them all in the right place in their little house where they belong. So disc two is the yes, it does, the Glenn Johns mix of the album, which has a bit of a different listing. So we'll have a look at the listing on this one. We have New Song, Had Enough, 905, Sister Disco, Trick of the Light, Guitar and Pen, Who Are You, Trick of the Light single B-side mix, Guitar and Pen alternative mix, Who Are You single edit, New Song, Pete Guide vocal, Sister Disco lost guitar mix, Had Enough without orchestra, Guitar and Pen Pete's Guide vocal, Love Is Coming Down without orchestra, and Early Run through Pete's Guide vocal. And they put it onto a different coloration. And it's produced by Glenn Johns. No, it's been produced by Glenn John and mixed by Steven Wilson. So it's the Glenn John mix, but it's been mixed by Steven Wilson. Now you work that out. So that's pretty cool. Pop that back in its little house. And then we've got this one here, Sessions and Demos. Once again, this time on a blue disc. The track listing on here is Who Are You, Lost Verse Mix, Guitar and Pen Olympic Studio 1978 mix, Love Is Coming Down Work in Progress, Empty Glass Sessions outtake, No Road Romance Sessions outtake, Trick of the Light unused Olympic edit, Who Are You, Clean Radio Edit. 905, John Estwell demo. Had Enough, John Estwell demo. Back on the Road, John Estwell demo. Wild Horses, John Estwell demo. Trick of the Light, John Estwell demo. And Good Times Coming, John Estwell demo. And Who Are You, John and Serrano's mix for The Kids Are Alright, which I believe is like a sort of movie. So yeah, we've already looked at the disc. So that's what's on there. Now this is Shepperton 1977, which it says quiet rehearsals. So I believe these are rehearsals for the up and coming tour of this album. It's got Who Are You, Try Out, Toronto 1976. The Kids Are Alright, tour rehearsals, Shepperton 1977. Run Run Run, tour rehearsals, Shepperton 77. Spoonful, Smokestack Lightning, tour rehearsal. I Saw Her Standing There, tour rehearsal. It's a Beatles song, so I'm wondering if Run 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 is the Velvet Underground song. Who Are You, Knocking It Into Shape 1. Who Are You, Knocking It Into Shape 2. Bobby O'Reilly, tour rehearsals. Shaking All Over, tour rehearsals. Bellboy, tour rehearsals. I'm sure that's from Quadrophenia. Won't Get Fooled Again, tour rehearsals. Barbara Ann, tour rehearsals. I Saw Her Standing There, tour rehearsals. And Drowned. So it's got a good mix up of tracks in there, some cover versions and stuff like that. So that's going to be a very interesting disc to listen to. I'm really hoping it's got them talking in a little bit like the Beatles sort of radio sessions and things like that. That'd be really cool. And then we got Shepperton from 78 to 79. That was 77. So this is the tour rehearsals. I remember this picture. I've seen the video of that on YouTube. That's them playing Don't Be Fooled Again. Right. On here we have Barbara O'Reilly, B Stage Shepperton, 25th of May 78. My Win? My Win. My Wife at Shepperton and 78. My Generation, B Stage Shepperton. Join Together, B Stage Shepperton. Who Are You, B Stage Shepperton. Won't Get Fooled Again, B Stage Shepperton. Sister Disco tour rehearsals. Music Must Change tour rehearsals. Won't Get Fooled Again tour rehearsals. And Who Are You tour rehearsals from 1979. Again, another very, very interesting disc. Obviously, I'm interested in... There's only one disc at the moment, which is the Sessions and Demos. It's not something that I'm too worried about, because it's just going to be a little bit like single versions of the tracks that are already on these. But these look really interesting. So now we've got the live discs. Live USA 1979 part 1, so it tells you you're putting the right disc in there. Classic picture there of Pete and Keith. Starts the set off with Substitute. I Can't Explain. Barbara O'Reilly, The Punk and the Godfather, Boris the Spider, Sister Disco, Behind Blue Eyes, Music Must Change, Drowned, Who Are You, 5:15, Pinball Wizard, See Me, Feel Me, Listen to You. Great set list there. Absolutely fantastic. Let's see what carries on in part 2. Part 2 has Long Live Rock, My Generation, I Can See for Miles, Trick of the Light, Sparks, Won't Get Fooled Again, Take a Fool Like You, How Can You Do It Alone, Magic Bus, God that's an old one, Summertime Blues, Dancing on the Streets, Dance It Away, and The Real Me, which again I believe is from Quadrophenia. Fantastic. And obviously the last disc here is the Blu-ray, Who Are You on Blu-ray. Sorry guys, trying to get it out there. That's a pretty cool cover. That would have been a good album cover, to be honest. And on here we have New Song, Had Enough, 90s, 905, sorry, Sister Disco, Music for Must Change, Trick of the Light, Guitar and Pen, Love Is Coming, and Who Are You? It's the mixes by Stephen Wilson on Blu-ray. The thing that's I would say is a little bit missed opportunity is they could have put on here the kids are all right, or they could have put on there some live footage from the 79 tour, 78, 79 tour. But it's still pretty cool, really cool. And that is the discs that are in here. So that is fantastic. Really, really cool. I love the cover. Really cool. It's a shame it didn't come with a nice poster. Even if it was a 12-inch size, you could have framed it. But there we go. So here's the book. Who Are You? That's supposed to reflect a mirror, so you're looking back on yourself. It doesn't really work very well because it's not really that sort of mirrored. And there's the sticker that I put on there. This is a hardback book, so that's good quality. That's what we like. So we'll have a little flick through here. Pete Townshend says here, this is not a concept album. The material is very mixed, so the stuff derives from the live house idea and not have a slight concept feel to it. But there's other stuff too, like how I feel about punk rock and about being middle-aged and in love. Music Must Change by Matt Kent. And it says there's a quote there saying, say goodbye to angry songs for kids, say hello to angry songs for grown-ups. Great picture there of the Who. Hopefully you can see all this. Let me double check. Let me stand up. Yeah, if I just move it slightly there. There we go. Sorry if there's any glare, guys. This is filmed during the daytime. We've kept in touch with him. We knew how bad it was, but equally, he was Keith Moon. I don't know who they're with there. Oh, it's Leonard Skinner. He's pictured in there. Bottle of JB's there. Maybe they're horror fans. That's Pete Townshend with Steve Jones and Paul Cook there of the Sex Pistols. And here we have Ringo Starr there. Roger in punk gear for the new album One for the Boys, 1977. There's John in the studio. Rampoint Studio. That's Glyn Johns. And that's Rad Argent, I believe, was in the Zombies. There's Keith in action. Roger that. It's a great book. There's a lot of writing to be read here. So I tend to, when I'm listening to the albums, I tend to sit down with this on my lap, and I tend to be reading through some of the writing in. So I should do these videos after I've read this, so I've had more information for you. But then if I'm doing that, you're not going to experience it yourself, are you? I just want to show you through the book, see if you think it's worth picking up. In these box sets, I believe the book are kind of like the heart of the box set, really. That they can make and break a box set. Old advert there. It's supposed to be like the Queen sat there with "Who Are You" there with a bottle of ketchup. This time it's not a tin of beans. Keith out there with Annette Walter Lax at a film premiere. The Second Coming, The Who enters the 80s. And there's a picture of them with the new drummer, Kenny Jones. That's more of a modern day picture, I think, that one there. Yes, that one's from 2019. And now we're going on about the original album. We have a breakdown of the song lyrics. Nice picture of John there. Master tape. Looks like Dudley Moore there. Who on vinyl and celluloid. Now this goes through the Glenn John mix, telling you about all the stuff that's different on it and who's singing on it, because sometimes Roger and sometimes Pete and stuff like that. So it's quite interesting. So when I'm listening to that disc, I'll be looking at information. That's a classic advert there. I remember seeing that in the music press. And then we go through all the disc 3 sessions and demos with some studio pictures. Then we're going through the rehearsal discs. And as you can see, there's a number of tracks on here that says previously unreleased. And we've got disc 5 of the rehearsals. The B stage. Unless the B stage actually, it might actually be a concert. It might be like a warm-up show before the tour. We'll find out when I listen to it. That's a great picture there. I don't know why he's wearing his wellies. He was a bit of a character, was Keith Moon. Sort of like an entity to his own, really. We're into disc 6, which is the American dates, and it goes through the track listing, who played what and what song. There's some adverts and live photo shots there. And then we've got disc 7. We've got a picture there of Steven Wilson talking about his mix of the album. And there's this is Terry O'Neill's first concept for the album cover. So this was going to be the first album cover. I actually quite like it. Well, obviously they went for that one. So we're getting to the end of the book now. This goes through the credits. And that is the end of the book. And that is the whole release there of Who Are You by The Who. So let's just pop everything away. I like to pop everything away. Whilst the video's running, pop that like that. Put the CDs in like that. Push it in. And there we go. And that is the unboxing of Who Are You by The Who. So there we are, guys. There's a closer look at the new release from The Who. Who Are You? Like I said, it's the last input with The Who with Keith Moon. But yeah, it's a wonderful, wonderful set. It's a new album to me. I have a few Who albums which I love. I mean, I love Quadrophenia. I think it's probably my favourite album. Who's Next I've got as a single album. I would like to get a more up-to-date one because I've got a really old version of it. And obviously I've got the Who in Leeds live album, and now I have this one. So I've got about four albums of the Who in my collection. Not many, because they have had a number of albums out, but that gives me more things to investigate over time. Like I said, it's a band that I've liked over the years, but never really bought too much of their things. Like I never bought Tommy, but my Live in Leeds Deluxe Edition has on the second disc Tommy live, so that's going to be very interesting. But I like this one. It's great to hear. It's going to hear the rehearsal stuff. I'm really interested in. Also, obviously, the live stuff. I just love live releases. I just think it brings the heart of the band out. Although the studio albums are great, I like live albums because I think they show the band in their vulnerabilities, if you like, and that's why I appreciate live albums. I do love studio albums, but I have a soft spot in my heart for live albums. I will do 10 great rock live albums soon. If you're interested, keep your eyes out for that. Anyway, so that's a look at the Who, which is out this week. I highly recommend picking it up if you're a Who fan, and if you're not, then maybe give it a spin. Cheers, guys.